Hello out there. How is the weather at your end? I know some areas have experienced rain and the heat has really set in, especially in the Middle Belt region. It's good to have you here on News Extra, the program that brings to you the news with the extra touch. And tonight, we will continue with updates on the coronavirus that sneaked into the country and has kept our health managers on their toes. The good news is that the containment effort is really on and the virus has so far been contained, thank God. Remember the driver of the Italian that brought coronavirus to Nigeria and his threat to spread the virus? Well, there is something on him. Don't miss it. And of course, the Federal Executive Council had also did its thing today and came up with decisions to take the country to the next level. Major decision is the Ajaokuta-Kaduna Kano Gas Pipeline project from the National Assembly Games to human angle stories from across the country. And we also have business-related news, education and sports. We have it all. So sit back for the package and don't be told. For the taste of the pudding is in the eating. I am Fatima Umbuba and I welcome you to News Extra. The federal government has approved the issuance of a sovereign guarantee for a loan facility amounting to 85% of the $2.57 billion engineering procurement and construction contract for the Ajaokuta-Kaduna Kano Gas Pipeline project. The Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, announced this while briefing newsmen after the Federal Executive Council meeting, which also made other resolutions critical to the nation's economy. We'll bring you details in the course of the bulletin. In the meantime, leadership of the Senate has visited the isolation center in Gwagwalada Federal Capital Territory for inspection, during which President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, described the center as not ready to receive patients. Senator Lawan, who had met with the Minister of Health on Tuesday on the need to urgently establish isolation centers across the state, explained that the isolation center in Gwagwalada is not completed as the FCT and neighboring state have no structure to call isolation center. He promised to ensure that the Ministry of Finance will release funds immediately for the completion of the center.
We're indeed sad that of the 620 million naira that was supposed to be released to this place for fixing of everything here, NCD, not a couple has been released. We are going to get across to the Minister of Finance and all the other authorities who have anything to do with this to release this money between today and tomorrow. Latest. We are in a situation that nobody should be found wanting. Everybody should be at the top of the game.
We believe we're doing our best, and it's out of the meager resources that we have, we've come this far. So I was very happy that the Senate President and other members of the Senate leadership have this at the back of their minds. They assured us that sooner than later all the needed funds are going to be released. And we assured them that as soon as funds are released, we're going to get these things done.
President Muhammadu Buhari has commended Aliko Dangote Foundation for donating 200 million naira to assist in combating coronavirus in the country. In a statement by the Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, the president recalls that the organization had in the past donated 1 billion naira to tackle Ebola virus disease in Africa, commending such public spiritedness. He uses the opportunity to reiterate his earlier charge that Nigerians should take the necessary hygiene precautions rather than panic after discovery of the index case in the country last week. And Lagos State Government has deployed an additional 60 health workers to intensify surveillance at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport. And Commissioner for Health, Professor Akin Abayomi, said this while giving a situation report on COVID-19 in Lagos. And Len Leneke has the details.
it is leaving no stone unturned in the fight against coronavirus through information sharing and dissemination and awareness creation at workplaces, schools, and other public places. 3 of the people recently tested were negative, and so far, none of the persons under self-isolation or quarantined have shown signs of the virus. The Lagos State Commissioner for Health says another 43 passengers who arrived to Nigeria with the Italian index case have been identified, bringing the number of people under watch to 84.
Every day we're saturating the public with information on corona, and people get really comfortable with all the features of corona. We're going to keep pumping that out. So information and awareness is our #1 strategy.
The Health Commissioner says the search continues. In Lagos, Lane Lenake, NTA News.
And from Lagos, we'll take you to Bauchi State, where the government says it is prepared in case of any eventuality and has commenced screening of passengers at its international airport and motor parks to prevent the spread of coronavirus into the state. And Bulak Hafsa was at the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa International Airport and filed in this report.
Since Nigeria recorded its first case of COVID-19 coronavirus disease, the country has been on the alert. In Bauchi, the Health Ministry has expanded and strengthened the current Lassa Emergency Preparedness Response Team, improved the standard of the State Isolation Center at the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa Teaching Hospital and Infectious Disease Center, Bayara.
This is one of the activities that we have started so far to make sure that we have screened all the incoming passengers in terms of their history and travel history as well as the temperature. So we are activating the Port Health Service or augmenting and strengthening such activities to make sure that we prevent the spread of any of the diseases into the state.
The Commissioner for Health, Dr. Aliyu Muhammad, said government has released funds for the purchase of infrared thermometers, hand sanitizers, and face masks, among others, with continuous surveillance at entry points of airports, major motor parks, and the Yankari Game Reserve. In Bauchi, Bulak Hafsa, NTA News.
And in its efforts to avoid being caught unawares, the Ondo State government has put in place effective preventive measures coupled with the procurement of modern hospital equipment to curtail the spread of coronavirus. Perchance it gets into the state. And Olajide Bello, however, reports that not many people in the state are aware of the virus as government strengthens level of hygienic advocacy to safeguard lives of the citizenry.
Since the first case of coronavirus was confirmed in Lagos, level of advocacy on personal hygiene has increased, while federal and many state governments are making arrangements on preventive measures to curtail the spread of the virus and other contagious disease. Much as these efforts are evident, the virus remains alien to the likes of Gabriel Adeyemo, a civil servant, and some other residents of Akure.
I just hear about coronavirus, but I don't know anything about it.
One of the entry points into the state that is being subjected to close monitoring is the Akure Airport, where health officials are not leaving anything to chance by screening passengers flying in and out of the state. To avoid any possible eventuality, the state government has initiated a purpose infectious disease hospital in Akure, where facilities for investigation and management have been put in place to attend to emergency cases.
We don't have the laboratory here. We have built this laboratory so that all the patients that come, we're able to test them, take their blood sample and they are tested here. Yes, we can. Everybody can be rest assured that we are ready.
As government continues to raise the level of advocacy on hand washing, experts say more still needs to be done on sensitization for the likes of Gabriel and others on what coronavirus is and how to protect themselves. From Akure, Olajide Bello, NTA News.
Yes, advocacy and sensitization there is so key. Now, in recent times, the issue of fake news has dominated public discourse. Many who spread the misinformation have had their way without any reported sanction, leaving the victims confused and also depressed. A recent example is the story of a man who has been trending as the cab driver of the index case of coronavirus in Nigeria. Though the unsavory account around him has been debunked by authorities, he now struggles to restore his battered image, and Ive Oyakire met with him in Benin.
Since the report of a case of coronavirus infection in Nigeria surfaced, many have turned themselves to citizen journalists, and a few have posted several unfounded stories about the disease. Yes, Nigeria has recorded a case of an Italian victim of coronavirus. Now, social media have reported that the driver who transported the victim while in Nigeria has also been infected with the ailment and promises to spread it across the country. The person whose picture was attached to the post has come out to deny the allegations. With me is Jude Ukwenobe, the alleged taxi driver who brought in the Italian from Lagos to Ogun State who has coronavirus. Now, Jude, can you tell us what you think you know about that thing?
It was a surprise to me that evening. A friend of mine called me to check up on my WhatsApp that there's a post going viral. I went on my WhatsApp platform. On my WhatsApp, I saw my picture that I am the one who brought the coronavirus patient from Lagos State to Ogun State. I was surprised because my name was Neverwande Isaac Dewali, but I'm still in Benin. I'm based in Benin. I never one day traveled for the past 2 years. I never traveled to Lagos State, or I am never one day a cab driver or an Uber driver to be precise. So it was shocking to me that my pictures are going viral. Ever since then, I don't go out alone. Sometimes if I'm going out alone, people, friends, they are running away from me. You see them calling me coronavirus man. I don't know how I can take this off my head because it's a big stigma.
Here is Jude's friend of over 15 years.
Really is a wrong person because when I saw it, I know that Jude has not been to Lagos for the past 2 years, just as he said on his video. So I immediately dropped my video so that the whole public will be aware that this person is not the one that is affected by that coronavirus, not even the cabman.
That information that has gone viral should be disregarded. Should be disregarded. That's not true. We know him very well. Very, very well. He's well known to us.
The case of Jude Ukwenobe is one of the many cases of fake news which abound in our public space.
This issue about fake news in Nigeria is something that Nigeria has to tackle on time so that it will not tarnish people's image. I don't have coronavirus.
Respondents are of the view that we appear to live in dangerous times thanks to mischief makers who wish to create a storm in a teacup. The coronavirus is a real difficulty. They therefore enjoin public to cooperate and give no chance for social media meddlers to poison the public space. In Benin, Ivie Oyahire, NTA News.
Thank you, Ivie. It's quite unfortunate for him. That's why fake news is bad. So stop the fake news. Now, health is wealth. If you doubt that, try illness and see if you won't spend your last kobo to get healthy. And at this age of increasing pollution with global warming, people getting vulnerable to diseases, top priority is expected to be given to healthy living. The good news here is the recent commitment from the collaboration between Nigeria and the World Health Organization as the Ministry of Health launches Nigeria's health workforce country profile to achieve an efficient, effective and high-quality health service delivery. And Oluseyi Adiabo tells us more.
The Nigerian health sector has over the years witnessed an uptick in the number of health workers migrating to other countries and lack of accurate data on existing health workforce in the country. This has since been hampering the facilitation of human resources and proper health planning in Nigeria. However, the narrative is now very close to changing. The launch of the Nigerian Health Workforce Country Profile 2018 and handover of the Nigerian Health Workforce Registry is in collaboration with the World Health Organization (WHO) and other partners. This documentation is seen to have opened up some responsible factors to shortages experienced in the health system and making reachable information on health workforce for evidence-based management and planning.
This effort is part of Nigeria's response to the World Health Organization's call to all nations of the world to strive towards attainment of universal health coverage and sustainable development goals through implementation of the global strategy on human resources for health.
We also look forward to ensuring that the government will ensure routine utilization of health workforce registry that will inform budgets, policies, plans at all levels, whether national, states, or local government level.
The Nigeria's National Health Workforce Registry, funded by the Canadian government, has already successfully registered 10 states' health workforce information. Speakers, however, advocated strong collaboration between the government of Nigeria and its partners in scaling up the registry to cover the remaining states as well as the federal departments, agencies, parastatals and private sectors. In Abuja, Olusheye Diagbo, NTA News.
And in another development, Dr. Folashade Omolara Yemieson has formally assumed duty as substantive head of Civil Service of the Federation. The new head of service was sworn in by President Muhammadu Buhari after the confirmation of her appointment last Friday. The State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that her swearing-in ceremony preceded the meeting of the Federal Executive Council.
I will preserve, protect, and defend the laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Born in Kaduna in 1964, the new head of service, Dr. Folashade Yemieson, hails from Kogi State. She became permanent secretary in the year 2012 and at various times served in the office of the head of civil service as well as ministries of information, education, and petroleum resources. Dr. Yemieson was appointed acting head of the civil service of the Federation 5 months ago to succeed Winifred Oyo-Ita, whose retirement from service was approved by the president. The new head of service has been engaged in efforts at enhancing the efficiency and integrity of the civil service, resuscitating service-wide training, as well as working on ways to better the relationship between ministers and permanent secretaries for enhanced service delivery.
Congratulations.
There was no presidential address at the swearing-in ceremony, but the appointee, Dr. Yemieson, told NTA News that she knows exactly what President Muhammadu Buhari wants in the civil service as the engine of growth.
I'd like to assure him that by the grace of God, I will work to ensure that his programs, his projects come to fruition and that the service delivery is improved tremendously.
Some permanent secretaries spoken to described the appointment of the new head of service, Dr. Folashade Yemieson, as well deserved.
We are very hopeful she will give us the right leadership to ensure that we reposition the civil service in this country.
I've had to work directly with her in the last 6-7 months. A very principled administrator who knows the service and the nitty-gritty of the public service. And she's so passionate about making the public service of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to be an excellent service delivery center.
Dozens of other permanent secretaries, heads of departments and agencies, as well as family members were on hand to show solidarity. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
And we wish her all the best. Now, anytime the issue of diversification of Nigeria's economy comes up, the agricultural sector readily comes to mind as an alternative. This was the picture on the floor of the Senate at Wednesday's plenary as the legislators consider a bill that seeks to establish the National Agricultural Development Fund. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo reports.
It was a day of second reading of bills in the Senate.
2 bills bordering on agricultural development were considered and passed through second reading. The National Agricultural Development Fund Establishment Bill, sponsored by Senator Abdullahi Adamu, led the pack, where the establishment of Federal University of Agriculture, Dambata, Kano State, sponsored by Senator Jibrin Barau, was also considered.
It will be difficult to achieve agricultural productivity and value addition required for industrial development without sustainable funding.
If this bill is passed into law, it will permanently put a structure in place that will take care of agricultural funding in Nigeria. The university will provide holistic development of agricultural education, knowledge, skills, and telescopic vision.
This is a salvation to the economy of Nigeria and, of course, job creation for our people, in addition to, of course, the food security that we need so much in our country.
The bill, sponsored by Senator Abubakar Kyari for the establishment of an Electoral Offences Commission, was also passed through second reading. As Deputy Minority Leader of the Senate, Senator Emmanuel Buacha called on communities to assist security agencies in fighting insecurity.
INEC failure to prosecute even 1% of the 870,000 alleged electoral offences in the 2011 general elections is an affirmation of the necessity of a paradigm shift on how we deal with electoral offences.
At the point of public hearing, we can now put in the necessary adjustments and contributions with regards to whether it's going to be a commission or a tribunal.
The only moral authority we do have to say we are leaders is to be elected on a free and fair basis.
The communities must also understand that they must wake up and complement the military. At this point, I also want to commend the people and government of Niger State for the great exploit that the local hunters did some few days ago.
The Southwest Development Commission Establishment Bill, sponsored by Senator Ibikule Amusu, was through second reading. Well, it appears that in days to come, the Senate might be receiving quite a number of bills seeking to establish similar commissions for other geopolitical zones. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Okwo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has approved a budget of 346.388 billion naira for the Niger Delta Development Commission for 2019 financial year. To end on May 31st, 2020, National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports that 306.500 billion naira of that amount is for development projects in the Niger Delta region.
Projects development expenditure 306,500,900,000. Carried.
This approval by the House of Representatives is in keeping with the commitments of the federal government to improve the lives of the people.
For development projects for the service of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, and it's for the financial year ending on the 31st of May 2020.
The budgeted amount covers development projects, personnel, overhead, and internal capital expenditure. Plenary also passed for second reading a bill to establish the South-South Development Commission, sponsored by Representative Awaji Nombek, and a bill to establish Federal University of Technology in Asaba Delta State.
Asaba is one of the few state capitals in Nigeria without the presence of a federal university, even though it is highly populated and strategically located.
A bill that made provisions to reenact the Companies Incorporation Act was considered as the committee of the whole.
That is a law that will help open up businesses into the country.
As the largest economy in Africa, we also need a legal regulatory framework that promotes enterprise, growth, and the right of conditions for investment and employment.
Meanwhile, the House has urged the federal government to direct the installation of the floating dockyard at Okerinkoko Delta State, acquired at the sum of 50 billion naira.
The floating dock project was really considered and approved
by the Federal Executive Council at its 37th meeting on October 23, 2013.
Other motions adopted include the need for authorities to address kidnappings in Kogi State and a call to review curriculum of tertiary education to reflect job needs and achieve national developments.
A major feature at plenary this Wednesday was the first reading of 19 bills, 10 of which seek to alter some sections of the 1999 Constitution. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
A Federal Capital Territory High Court in Jabi, Abuja has granted order of interim injunction stopping Adams Oshiomhole from parading himself as the inaugural chairman of the All Progressives Congress, ruling on the application brought before the court by Mustafa Salihu and 5 others. Justice Danladi Senche granted the order on the ground that the plaintiffs have been able to show that Adams Oshiomhole was suspended by his ward, Esako West Ward 10 in Edo State. Justice Senche adds that political parties must be bound by their constitutions and having been suspended by his ward. Adams Oshiomhole is restrained from functioning as the national chairman of the party pending the hearing and determination of the substantive suit. Hearing on the matter has been fixed for the 7th and 8th of April 2020.
Is that from this very moment, the first defendant, Mr. Adams Oshiomhole, ceases to be the chairman of APC. That's what it means. At least it's an interlocutory injunction. What it means is that until the substantive suit is decided, he can no longer act as the chairman of APC from this very moment, as the court has ruled.
Deben Dodo did not comment. Meanwhile, the acting national secretary of the All Progressives Congress, Victor Giadom, says the party will respect all lawful court orders.
Law-abiding party, we will respect all lawful court order and progress from that point. And very soon, the National Working Committee will meet. And you will hear further from the party. But just to say that the All Progressive Congress will respect all lawful order of courts.
And the National Working Committee of the All Progressive Congress has approved the nomination of Architect Waziri Bulama as the party's acting national secretary. A statement by the party's national publicity secretary, Larry Issa Onilu, says the decision was reached on January 14, 2020, during the meeting of the NWC at the party's national secretariat, following the resignation of Mai Mala Buni as the party's national secretary in May 2019, prior to his election as the governor of Yobe State. The party subsequently gave notice for a replacement from the zone. The NWC was also approved the nomination of Senator Abiola Ajimobi as the Deputy National Chairman South and Mr. Paul Chukwuma as the National Auditor, following nominations from the respective zones. We'll take a short break now. When we return, a grateful neighbor salutes the big brother as Cameroonian refugees find refuge in Nigerian border towns, plus abandoned and left to fend for themselves around dump hills, the plight of the mentally ill in parts of Nigeria. A bold reporter, however, takes a closer look. We'll be right back.
Africa is a land of opportunities. There's no better time to be and become an entrepreneur in Africa.
When I got my seed capital, it was just an idea. I didn't even have a business. There was no happy coffee.
Right now, we are employing 22 young people.
De recevoir le financement qui m'a aidé à démarrer cette activité et aider beaucoup.
Having been an entrepreneur myself, let me help to create more. That is the driving force behind the Tony Elumelu Foundation. No one but us will develop Africa. We need to look inward to see how we can share prosperity.
The future of Africa is in your hands.
It is morning, a new beginning. As you prepare everyone for the day ahead, just anything is not enough. Only you make breakfast special, creamy, tasty, with vitamins and nutrients we need for a delightful, healthy start.
So start your day right with Hollandia Evap.
Hollandia.
Make it special and joyful and plentiful. Make it spacious and generous. So precious. Make it click and flip. No spills. Make it fresh, no matter the test. Now that's cool. Make it nutritious. Mouth-watering delicious. Talk about a mouthful. Make it captivating and imaginative. Think big. Wow. Make it lit. With a flick. That's the trick. Make life beautiful with Omaha. Omaha, inspired by you.
Senate Committee on Tertiary Institutions and TED Fund invites the general public and stakeholders to a one-day public hearing on the following bills. Federal College of Education, Mutumbiu, Taraba State, Establishment Bill 2020, SB 101. Federal College of Education, Giwaka Junior State, Establishment Bill 2019, SB 121. Federal College of Education, Ibokun, Establishment Bill 2020, SB 134. Date, Monday, 9th March 2020. Time, 12 noon. Venue, Senate Conference Room 231. Special guest of honor, Senator Dr. Ahmed Lawan, President of the Senate. Host, Senate Committee on Tertiary Institutions and TED Fund. Stakeholders should submit 25 copies of memoranda and a flash drive to the committee secretariat, SB 21A, White House, NAS Complex, on before Friday, 6th March 2020. Senator Ahmad Baba Kaita, Chairman, Announcer.
Refresh your confidence with the liquid filling of a Center Fresh gum. Center Fresh. Trust the freshness. Human resource.
This is beautiful.
Quality is vital. Quality is Vitafoam.
Hello, honey.
Hey, baby.
Wow. Those guys are good in bed.
What?
Yes, we're good in bed. Hurry now to any Vitafoam accredited dealer nationwide or visit us online on www.vitafoamng.com. Place your order today. Vitafoam, the fine art of living.
Good to know you're still with us on News Extra. We now take you back to the report by our State House correspondent Adam Musambo on FEC deliberations today.
The meeting presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari deliberated extensively on the joint memorandum submitted by the Ministries of Finance, Budget and National Planning, as well as Petroleum Resources on financing the Ajaokuta-Kaduna-Kano gas pipeline project. The contract, initially approved by Council in 2017 at $2.89 billion, has now been revised downwards to $2.57 billion, equivalent to a 10% discount. NNPC is required to pay 15% of the contract amount, while the remaining 85% will be provided by Sinashore of China in form of a loan facility at an interest rate of 3.7%, with a 12-year repayment period and a 3-year moratorium. Finance Minister Zainab Ahmed said an extensive review of the project has been made and the government is satisfied that the cash flows from the gas pipeline project, when completed, will be sufficient for repayment of the loan facility.
This project is one of the cardinal policies of this present administration, and it is very strategic to national development. It has a lot of positive impact that we anticipate will be met. It will spur industrialization and industrial growth, as gas-based industries and power-generating companies will be the key beneficiaries. It will also create employment opportunities. It will increase government revenue. It will encourage exports and enhance the nation's foreign reserves by reducing dependencies on imports. Minister of State for Works and Housing, Abubakar Aliyu, also announced the approval of 6.6 billion naira by the Council for the rehabilitation of Murtala Muhammad Bridge, Cotton Karfe in Kogi State. 1.7 million naira has also been approved for the procurement of birds deterrent system for Kano, Port Harcourt and Enugu international airports.
And what it does is it scares birds away from our runways and avoids birds injection into the engine. Injection of birds into our engine, or bird strike for simplicity. And that improves safety operations and efficiency of our airport.
On his part, the Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Ogbanaya Onu, who gave account of his stewardship to the Council, takes pride in the discovery of what he called solar-powered voting solutions towards achieving credible elections in Nigeria.
The machine is designed in a way that will make it possible for us as a nation, if we want to conduct all our elections, 7 elections, in one day at the same time, we can do so, addressing many of the problems that we have today in the conduct of our elections. We are still working to further improve the system.
Health Minister Dr. Osage Ihanere, who also briefed the Council on his performance, spoke at length on the aspirations and plans towards increasing the number of primary healthcare centers in the country and adequately funding them to effectively serve areas of need.
The administration of President Muhammadu Buhari has made that a priority. Many primary healthcare centers have been revitalized. They are working. And not only are they working, it is his government that provided the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund, with which service can be paid for at the primary healthcare center for those who can't afford it for the poor. You can have free delivery, free antenatal, free treatment of under 5-year-old, free malaria treatment for everybody.
The minister announced that about 1 billion naira has been released to the Center for Disease Control through extra budgetary allocation for the procurement of all it requires for health emergencies. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Many thanks, Adamu Sambu. Now, once a big brother is always a big brother. That is what Nigeria has been to the rest of Africa. Well, it's good to know that some do show appreciation as Cameroonian refugees staying in border communities of Taraba State are doing. They have continued to thank the Nigerian government and its people for the massive support they are receiving to make life better for them. They say conditions have improved for them since the federal and state governments started visiting them with relief materials. And Joseph Austin reports from some refugee camps in Takum local government area.
These relief materials are being loaded in trucks and heading to Taraba State border communities with the Republic of Cameroon. 5 local government areas, Sardauna, Komi, Busa, Takum and Gashaka are hosting over 25,000 Cameroonian refugees. As the materials arrive and are being distributed, emotions took over the faces of the beneficiaries who were full of gratitude to the people of Nigeria for their support.
As we run from here, they did not leave us. They always give us food with a chop. We need to sit down hungry.
As we dey for here, we dey in unity, and we dey fine. We don't cause any problem for this place.
For the past 3 years, Cameroonian refugees have continued to flood into Taraba State and other neighboring states of Nigeria. Though heavy burden on coast communities, the villagers empathize with them and authorities want them to remain law-abiding to make life better for all.
And what be the importance of the registration? It will help una. If una dey waka within this country, this Nigeria, so when I get waiting, una go present say una be refugee. Immigration no go harass una. Police no go harass una.
If you need plot, I can give you plot. You remain on your own. You are our indigent here now.
We will talk to Commissioner for Education so that those of your children who are of school age should be allowed to participate in the school year.
This is the second time in the last 2 months that SEMA will be visiting the communities to cushion the hardship of the Cameroonians and their hosts. From Takum, Joseph Sound Oten, NTA News.
You agree with me that that's a beautiful one, I must say. Borno State government is set to enroll the over 50,000 school-age children in Gajiram town into public schools constructed by the state government. Governor Babagana Umara Zulum made this known when he visited Gajiram headquarters of Nganzai local government area for one-day official engagement in the area. Mohamed Goni reports.
Gajiram headquarters of Nganzai local government is one of the communities overrun by the Boko Haram insurgents.
You can see we have nothing fewer than 50,000 children in this town. So we wanted to enroll them into school. My predecessor has built number of schools, has built mega schools. This administration is looking to the possibility of recruiting qualified personnel into our schools, make proper enrollment so that academic activities will resume in primary schools in this town, while we are also looking to the possibility of reopening the secondary school.
Babagana Umara was in Gajira Mega School to kickstart the enrollment drive, where he charged the district head of the area, the education secretary and other stakeholders to ensure that the enrollment matches the classroom capacity, and further assured them that the state government will provide all their needs, including school uniform, to ensure that all schools in Gajiram are reopened. Addressing stakeholders, the governor charged them to cooperate with security agencies in the quest to restore normalcy in the area. From Gajiram headquarters of Nganzai local government, Mahmoud Koni, NTA News.
Good news there from Gajiram. Now, Lord Lugard's ordinance, which stipulates that people with mental illness should be arrested and imprisoned, was domesticated in Nigeria after independence in 1960. Now, while efforts to ameliorate the plight of people in similar situations like people with special needs have gotten the attention of government through legislation, people with mental illness are still on their own, so to say, without any legal protection. And Ikechu Unduke has been pondering on this, and in this report puts the issue in perspective.
Mental illness entails depression of the mind, hallucination, distortion of reality, which results into paranoid thinking, catatonic, and hyperphrenia. Hyperphrenia inhabits in dirty places. Catatonics are usually very violent, while the paranoia are quiet and resentful. These classes of lunatics, referred to as schizophrenia, are found in most parts of Nigeria, with their presence causing public scare. Dr. Sylvia Benda is a German resident in Nigeria. She has some suggestions on how to handle people with mental illness.
Germany has a fantastic healthcare system where everyone who is working
pays a little bit into health insurance. We have programs for mental health illness patients that would administer drugs for free.
Aside physical causes, proper dieting, provision of jobs can reduce depression and psychosis, the neuropathic says.
But the pharmaceutical drugs are not going to get to the root of the issue of why people are the way they are. Part of a program where they are in a group session, where they discuss their issues and to understand more about themselves, about how to interact with others in a group setting.
A family lawyer, Samson Dukwe, is demanding an act of the National Assembly that will ameliorate the plight of people living with mental illness. The legal luminary described as disturbing the situation where mentally ill persons are discriminated against without any form of legal protection.
Open up a center for them to also see them as part of the society and give them the rights that are due for them.
They are mostly abandoned there. I'm sure you see them on Facebook where you see some people chaining them to a standpoint as if they are prisoners. Yes, they may be violent. So I think we will need to step up. The society needs to do something because these mentally challenged people are people's relatives. They are people's husbands, they are people's wives, they are people's sisters, they are people's brothers.
Mentally ill persons do not vote during elections and are legally bound from being voted for. They do not enjoy rights, dignity of human person, and rights to assembly. Legal practitioners say these are inhuman and degrading treatments. In Abuja, Ikechukwu Ndukwe, NTA News.
Thank you so much, Ikechukwu, for that. Now, you know the Nigerian military is not all about guns, bullets, boots, bombers, or NNS. This and that, of course. All that is necessary to keep us sleeping with two eyes closed. But there is the human side to the military. This is again exemplified by the Nigerian Air Force when it further cemented the existing civilian-military relationship with the medical outreach to an internally displaced persons camp in Kuta, headquarters of Shiroro local government area of Niger State. And Dauda Mohammed reports on this humane gesture.
20-year-old Balira Kabir is among the 10 women that recently delivered babies at the Dr. Ibrahim Idris Primary School in Kuta, one of the internally displaced persons camps in Shiroro local government area of Niger State. The women are among the 2,654 displaced persons taking refuge in the camp for more than 3 months, sharing facilities seemingly inadequate. The Nigerian Air Force, as part of its tradition of providing medical services to communities in its areas of operation, mobilized a team of health personnel to provide first-class treatment and care to the IDPs. Medical services provided include surgery, optical care, deworming of children, general medical consultancy, and provision of insecticide-treated mosquito nets for pregnant women and children.
Coming up with this medical program, I think, is an additional boost for us because it means not only the state governor is concerned about the people, the chief of air staff, in building up military-civil relationship, I show a lot of concern.
It's not just fighting with a bullet, also fighting to keep the community here, to show the community here that we're friends.
Though the internally displaced persons in this camp have received different forms of interventions and assistance from donor bodies and none from the Nigerian Air Force medical outreach. However, what remains foremost in their mind is for them to want to go back safely home. The medical outreach is expected to last 3 days. In Kuta, headquarters of the local government area of Niger State, Dauda Mohammed, NTA News.
And from Kuta, we'll take you to Lagos, where developing local capacity from training to building of equipment within the Nigerian Navy has triggered achievements in the protection of maritime assets and national security. Members of the House of Representatives Committee on Navy are, however, desirous to see more done and have promised to give necessary support for provision of fund to the Navy. And Dotun Ogunyemi reports that this was during an inspection of facilities and operational bases under the Western Naval Command in Lagos.
This visit by members of the House of
Representatives Committee on Navy is to assess the state of facilities across units under the Western Naval Command with a view to improving areas of challenges. The team visited the Naval Training Command, Navy Barracks Ojo, where they were conducted round the Naval Ordnance Depot, Special Boat Service, Joint Maritime Security Training Center, Naval Air Base, among others. They also visited the Forward Operations Base in Badagry and Ikbokoda.
A bill for a special fund for the Armed Force passed through first reading, which all the chairmen of the Armed Force Committee are co-sponsors of that bill. If we don't mean well, and we don't want to add value, and we don't want to solve the financial problem of the Nigerian military architect, I don't think that bill will even come up in the first instance.
This meeting is to align the views and opinions of private maritime stakeholders with respect to maritime security.
It's all an effort to make sure that stakeholders, all relevant stakeholders, work together with the Nigerian Navy to ensure that we provide a safe and secure maritime environment for you to do your businesses.
Rising from this stakeholders meeting, the House Committee on Navy is assuring all parties that critical issues and challenges will be addressed in order to position the Nigerian Navy to take on its responsibility of protecting Nigeria's territorial waters in Lagos. Dotun Oguyemi.
Meanwhile, the Nigeria Police has commenced the review of its strategies and the deployment of some of its most sophisticated arsenals to confront bandits terrorizing remote communities in Kaduna State. Inspector General of Police Muhammad Adamu announced this at a meeting with top hierarchy of the Kaduna State Police Command. Abdullahi Muhammad reports.
A devastating attack on 5 communities about 50 kilometers away from the city of Kaduna came as a surprise to many, and all the people living in those kind of areas want to hear from the security agencies at this point in time are reassuring words and action.
And a helicopter landed with a Messiah who came to change the approach his disciples have been using to fight the agent of the devil bent on destruction. His message was filled with the kind of words that take away panic and repose confidence in the people and communities that are in their need of reinforcement of security.
From other commands, we gather resources, we gather equipment, and we brought them to Kaduna in order to assist the police officers in Kaduna, so as to work with the strategic officers that are already in Kaduna to deal with the banditry.
This meeting may have less than 20 intelligent disciples of a man who has fought and won many battles. And the expectation is that they will swing into action unless the people sleep with their 2 eyes closed. In Kaduna, Abdullahi Muhammad, NTA News.
Thank you, Abdullahi. And you are still watching News Extra on the NTA. And when we return, fishing for tourism. Arugungu Fishing Festival hooks in new admirers as Kebbi wets appetite in Abuja. Stay with us.
Everyone happily ever after.
Auntie, can I have a cookie?
Not until you wash your hands with antibacterial soap. Germs are like dragons hiding everywhere.
I also want to conquer a dragon, Auntie. Me too.
You can. Children are constantly exposed to diseases that cause colds, flu, and diarrhea. Mothers know that washing your hands with antibacterial soap stops the spread of germs and diseases. You have to wash your hands before touching or eating. When you come home after a long day and after using the toilet. I love my family, and I know you love yours too. That's why I now regularly wash my hands with antibacterial soap. Would you join me as we wash our hands to protect Naija?
The Better Clean Naija initiative is in partnership with the Federal Ministry of Water Resources.
When I was pregnant, I worried you would look like your dad. But look at you. After
After 6 months, I worried about the right foods to give you. Now you've grown so much, but doctor says anemia can affect your growth and slow your learning.
Mom is right. 7 out of 10 kids in Nigeria suffer from iron deficiency, which can cause anemia. 1 meal of Cerelac Junior with Iron Plus provides 50% of your child's daily iron needs to support proper growth and learning.
That's reassuring. Cerelac Junior with Iron Plus. It's all good, Mom.
Strongest, no challenge can stop us, so Lord, and we are the brightest, no darkness can blind us, we are the strongest.
Malta Guinness is packed with B vitamins to fuel your greatness.
When I was a little girl, I loved spending time with Mum and Grandma cleaning the house. I was so excited to sing in the choir. And your shirts are always so white. I knew what Mum's secret was. Today, I'm a modern woman that still trusts the secrets passed down to me. It's Jik, of course. The original trusted bleach, which can be used all around your house for amazing results. Shh, it's our little secret. It's no secret. It's Jik's best ever extra whitening power. Just Jik it.
Better with Coca-Cola and stand a chance to win an all-expense paid trip to the UK to watch a live Premier League game or your share of 400 million naira in instant cash prizes. Simply buy a bottle of Coke or Coke Zero. Look under the cap for your unique code and dial *4255*55* your unique code hash. Stand a chance to win. The more Coke you buy, the better your chances of winning. See pack labels and posters for more details. Promo starts March 1st and ends May 31st.
Naija, your love guest.
I do believe in love at first sight.
I just think it's not possible.
You know, as a man, you're moved by what you see.
My love at first sight is a mental connection. Personally, don't want someone really shorter than I am.
Guys really don't pick up on things like that sometimes, and I'm guys.
My goal, is to find love.
I just like them average, light skin.
My move button is just showing me too much love.
You might be the most beautiful woman in the world, but if your nails are not straight and clean, I ain't doing with you.
Bad breath, bad odors of any kind.
I'm the mumu naturally, so...
I will be gone. I'll be a mumu for life.
I love attention, maybe food. I want to try again.
If a woman is like my heaven, like she gives me peace, I'm good.
I was at the point of getting married, or my dad didn't approve of the relationship.
It's me and my man.
I want someone that's a little bit taller than I am and muscular.
I think you actually have to know a person to a certain degree before you say you're in love with them.
Thank you so much for staying. As usual, Abolade Salami is standing by Lagos to brief us on how business is fared today. Abolade.
Thank you so much, Fatima, and welcome to the Business News segment. The implementation of Nigeria's 2020 budget on capital expenditure will be properly monitored and executed. Minister of State Budget and National Planning, Clem Agba, during a session with parliamentarians on the budget process, said both arms of government must ensure judicious use of public funds.
It is important to note that this retreat provides an opportunity for members of parliament to better understand the goals and constraints of government. It should also help to build executive-legislative consensus on principles that should guide roles of both actors in the budget process.
Indeed, the legislature has been they've been extremely supportive for us on the fiscal side, fiscal management side. We couldn't hope for anything better. See the speed with which they passed the finance bill. Look at the speed with which they passed the budget, and they're tackling other supportive legislation.
The budget retreat organized to broaden the knowledge of both chairmen and members of Senate and House Committee on Appropriations addressed various areas including roles of legislature in budget approval, challenges confronting budget formation and approval process in Nigeria, and tools to evaluate value for money in public spending.
Very efficient. We need to be global compliance in what we do, because managing resources when it comes to budgeting is very important. And so as much as what they are saying is the global practice, we must tailor it to what it is that we have.
And now from budget process to demutualization of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Key players in the Nigerian Stock Exchange have met to finalize moves through resolutions for the demutualization of the exchange at a court order meeting in Lagos. For the re-registration of the exchange as Nigerian Exchange Group PLC.
As a way of modernization. So if you look at the exchanges that have demutualized, they've greatly modernized their activities and gotten into various verticals that they did not have before. So we're expecting the same thing for the exchange. It provides for de-risking of access to capital in the country. Right now, there's a huge concentration on the banking industry. So with this effort, we believe that will provide a credible complement to the banking industry in terms of financing business activities and things like that.
Very auspicious and important day for the history of the capital markets. It's a one-in-a-lifetime event. A lot of demutualization exercises have happened all over the world, and for those jurisdictions where this have happened, it has been a good story. And you agree with me that this will totally transform the operations of the exchange going forward.
And still staying put with activities on the equities market, Nigerian capital market posted gains at the close of mid trading, appreciating by 0.61%. Here are details of today's trading. The marginal growth performance in the Nigerian capital market.
Well, thank you so much. I enjoyed the business package, but I think they are having issues with the audio there. Now, OPEC Secretary General Mohammed Sanusi Barkindo says downward spiral plunging of global oil price is one of the worst experiences of the organization in recent time, with second quarter forecast not bright. However, OPEC, he says, is looking at working out a consensus to overcome challenges in the global market. Lydia Sampson is standing by with an overview of these and other highlights on OPEC.
In light of the COVID-19 outbreak, the 18th meeting of the Joint Ministerial Monitoring Committee, the 178th extraordinary meeting of OPEC Conference, and the 8th OPEC and non-OPEC ministerial meeting is limiting number of delegates. OPEC Secretary General Mohammed Sanusi Barkindo said, after consultations with various authorities, members of the press will not be allowed to enter the OPEC Secretariat building for the various meetings. Barkindo, in an exclusive interview with NTA via Skype, enumerated plans to mitigate the effect on oil-producing economies.
And as members of the operation, in particular those outside of OPEC, in order to have a consensus on the common on how to overcome this objective.
Already, the mere confirmation that the meetings will go ahead had rescued plunging of oil prices. The main focus for the Nigerian delegation at the OPEC conference is the collaboration and cooperation under the Declaration of Cooperation to present strong response to the coronavirus catastrophe without compromising Nigeria's national priorities for both production volume and price benchmark. The OPEC Secretariat is following the advice of the Austrian Federal Ministry of European and International Affairs with regards to COVID-19 risk management. For now, journalists who hitherto were looking forward to the OPEC meeting will only report from the live stream of the opening sessions of the three meetings by OPEC. Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
The development of pressure reduction and metering station is underway in Bayelsa State following the signing of agreement for the lease of 1 hectare of land at Polaku between the Nigerian Country Development and Monitoring Board and Shell Company. Usman Akwanga reports.
The signatures of the Executive Secretary NCDMB Kasir Simbi Wabuti and the Managing Director of Shell Nigerian Gas Mr. Idu Ubong seals the agreement for the pressure reduction and metering plant. It is to aid the distribution of part of gas from Shell's Bahrain will be integrated oil and gas development plant for domestic utilization. The Executive Secretary explains that the new development will serve as a catalyst for the availability and distribution of natural gas to domestic users in South-South region.
It will be kind of an offshoot of a gas industrial setting that we are looking at. And you're also aware we are also building an industrial park in Bayelsa State as well as Cross River State. So most of those industrial parks will also benefit from gas-related activities from this Polaco hub.
The management of Shell Nigerian Gas Limited says the investment will unlock gas delivery and economic development in Bayelsa State with far-reaching impact on socio-economic lives of the people.
This will be the first time that we'll be distributing gas locally in Bayelsa State. It's a significant moment for us as Shell because we've had a big gas facility in Bahrain for a long time. So now the gas will begin to get distributed within the local community. We hope that it allows more manufacturing and industrial plants to rise up, create jobs, and sort of improve the socio-economic welfare of Bayelsa.
The board had in January partnered Rumgas Prime Industries Limited for the establishment of 400,000 per annum Type 3 LPG composite cylinder manufacturing plant in Polaku, Bayelsa State. In Abuja, Abubakar Usman Akwanga, NTA News.
Now, I can safely say that the lives of majority of Nigerians, especially in the urban areas, revolve around electric power availability, and cost of such power is understandably of concern to them. So as anxiety continues to rise over the effects of the alleged new electricity tariff by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission come April, experts in the sector want a systemic approach towards attracting more investors to the sector. Doing Dear reports that this was the view expressed by guests on NTA Tuesday Live. Doing Dear, it's over to you.
Since the outbreak of the COVID-19 epidemic in Wuhan, China, and the index case in Nigeria, a coordinated effort by the various departments have been activated to ensure that the country does not become overburdened by the scourge. The proactiveness and response of the Nigerian government in curtailing the spread of COVID-19 virus in the country is, however, receiving commendation.
We urge Nigerians not to panic. The Federal Ministry of Health and the NCDC are on top of this situation.
The program also explained the new electricity tariff by the Nigerian Electricity Regulation Commission for 11 electricity distributing companies in the country, with growing concerns raised by end users who are the receiving end. Guests on the program of the opinion that proper funding of the sector is one sure way to address the issues of overbilling, low distribution of the prepaid metering system, and other irregularities in the sector.
When MITO fixed the megawatt for 5,000, my company was supposed to be receiving 760 megawatts per day. But since 2013 to date, we had never received 70% of that.
It beholds on the regulator to say, look, if the discos are not able to actually close the gap as fast as possible, because until you have proper metering, adequate metering, the liquidity in the market that will actually drive the entire market will not be there.
World Bank, GIZ, many donors, many countries, organizations are giving loan for this sector. What is wrong in getting investors that have the money to come into the sector and help it to move?
And that's why NEC in the new cabinet says, if you're already
if you're already consuming, build below the cap. You continue on that below. If you are more than the cap, you pay the cap.
The efforts of government towards uplifting the lives of Nigerians, especially in the various sectors of the nation's economy, they say is commendable. Nabuja, Doing, Dia, NT News.
Don't give me a fish, teach me how to fish. Whenever I hear this expression, Arugungu Fishing Festival comes to mind as preparations reach top gear to hold the one for this year. We are told it's going to be a revitalized festival that will have all the trappings of a truly international fishing festival.
A name on the lips of those who love culture and are choosers to keep about nature. That was when the annual Argungu Fishing Festival prominently features on the calendar. The international festival not only put Nigeria on the global tourism activities, but also designated by United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organizations, UNESCO. The good news now is that Argungu Fishing Festival is coming back to life 10 years after its suspension following insecurity, infrastructural decay and shrinking water in the river.
Project the cultural heritage of the diverse peoples of Nigeria to the world and create jobs, income, and positive awareness.
Argungu Fishing Festival is coming with a bang. All is now ready, and series of breathtaking events lined up to give national and international guests a memorable experience are unfolding. If this is just a tip of the iceberg, then the main event slated for later in the year promises to be a must-watch experience that will be worth the while. Fati, I hope you'll also be there to enjoy the beautiful tourist sites and have a feel of the culture. Hope to see you there.
Well, so my drama queen, I would sure be there by the special grace of God. You know, I love culture. I love to celebrate culture. And you know, NTA always has a way of celebrating culture and unity. Now it's time for us to take another break. News Extra continues shortly.
COVID-19 transmission is mostly through droplets from sneezing and saliva. The most effective way to protect yourself from the virus is to practice good personal hygiene. Wash hands with soap under running water or use an alcohol-based sanitizer if water is not available. Maintain at least 2 meters distance between yourself and anyone who is coughing or sneezing. Cover your mouth and nose with your elbow or tissue when you cough or sneeze. Dispose of the used tissue immediately. If you have traveled recently to a country with COVID-19 outbreak in the last 14 days and you have a fever, cough, or breathing difficulty, call NCDC toll-free numbers before going to the hospital. This message is from the National Orientation Agency.
As you know, kids' exam time is exam time for moms. The child prepares intensely, so does the mom, taking care of every little thing. But germs can ruin it all. What if he falls ill on his exam day?
Every single day is important for kids. That's why they need Dettol soap. It protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Every Everyday protection, everyday Dettol.
65 grams, now 115 naira.
My busy now today or 4 days when my girls won't come visit and I need to go expire.
Oh, my guys, they can't follow me watch this match. I must not fold the hand.
Babe, what's happening now? Sorry to disappoint you. My subscription don't expire.
The match is not on my GoTV package.
Now your holla be that. Give me your. Think I show you how you go take do it for my GoTV app for your phone.
Life is so much easier with my GoTV app. Make payments, clear error messages, change your package. You can also check your due dates and keep abreast of your payment history. The new My GoTV app is everything you need in one place. So what are you waiting for? Download My GoTV app now from Google Play or App Store to enjoy the easy life. GoTV. Live it, love it.
Coming on April 2nd, 2020, in the capital city of Abuja, the Ivory 8 Ball, a life-saving fundraising event featuring music and arts in aid of skin cancer patients with albinism. For participation and sponsorship, call Edidiong on 070-197-73352 or Chile on 090-559-61514. This event is powered by Nigerian Television Authority, TV Enterprises, Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, FRCN, African Independent Television, and Ray Power FM, Silverbird Television, and Rhythm FM. The Albo Foundation, the Ivory 8 Ball, for a worthy cause. Watch out.
That channel where you watch just now don't waka, no panic.
Can you no panic?
You go do it by yourself like ABC. Oh yeah, press the menu button on top your remote. Scroll up and down till you see Information Central. Then press OK.
Press OK.
Check the signal strength and quality. If the signal strength and quality pass 70, make you press the exit button, go back. Go advanced options, then choose installation, then go to reset and press OK.
Press.
Wow, now you say fit catch all those channels with the one miss road by yourself. Yes, make your groove for no loss. You see as I do, Abi? And I see as I do,
GoTV. Live it, love it.
And I see as we do,
Welcome back. Do you remember the swift response in Wuhan, China over the dreaded coronavirus disease, where an over 1,500 bed capacity facility was built in just 10 days with the application of engineering and technology? This is a reminder that as the world's problem solver, engineers worldwide are striving to rise to these challenges with increasingly innovative solutions aided by advances in technology. Now, key players in the engineering sector want a policy that will prioritize building and strengthening of long-term engineering capability that will respond to current threats and in the future prove economies against emerging challenges. This is as an Nigerian engineer joined the rest of the world to mark the inaugural 2020 World Engineering Day for Sustainable Development. Justin Bemunyi reports.
It aims at improving public understanding of how engineering and technology is central to modern life and sustainable development. So, have you imagined the advancements in medical facilities that mankind has witnessed over time? Or the innovations that have enhanced mass communication? Maybe we should also mention the Industrial Revolution and improvements in teaching and learning, as well as many other activities of human endeavor. One thing common about these developments is that they are achieved with the growth of engineering ingenuity. The consideration of the value of engineering to existence is the wisdom behind setting aside March 4th annually by UNESCO and WFEO as World Engineering Day for Sustainable Development, trailblazing this year. The emphasis coming along with the celebration lies on strengthening the capacity of engineers and related organizations to impact positively on sustainable development goals.
Engineering is everywhere. Engineering is in every facet of studies of discipline. That's the reason why we must celebrate engineering and engineers.
We need Nigerian engineers to develop Nigeria. We need Nigerian engineers to develop Nigeria because we are doing it for two reasons. First, as Nigerians, we want our country to develop, then looking for money.
So that is why it is very important for us to have a deliberate policy, to train our people.
An advocacy project on science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and artificial intelligence was inaugurated in the course of the World Engineering Day celebration. In Abuja, Justin Bemunyi, NTA News.
We celebrate all Nigerian engineers out there. Now, Nigerians will soon be able to watch a dedicated FRSC program on NTA as the two organizations are partnering for proper public education and awareness on road safety and management. This was agreed upon by the FRSC Commercial Boboye Oyeyemi and the management of NTA. Oyeyemi Ajay has details.
It was like coming back home for Boboye Oyeyemi, who had his compulsory National Youth Service in NTA Sokoto as a presenter between the year 1985 to 1986. Today, he is coming in the capacity of the Corps Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Corps.
He's also MNPA, a member of NTA.
Full of praise to management of NTA for delivery of concise and timely information to the public on road safety management. Boboye Oyeyemi said constructive criticism of the Corps from the public through NTA informed the need for partnership between the two organizations for a dedicated program to be run quarterly to educate and to reorientate the public on road safety as the Corps is working hard to achieve zero road crashes on the highways.
Already the commercial vehicles, we've compelled them to install speed limiting device, but we're having more crashes involving private vehicles now. So we really need to educate the public because your vehicle can go at 300 kilometers does not mean you should be flying.
I will continue to be by your side as you struggle, to make Nigeria a better place. As you struggle to make Nigerian roads safer for everybody, we will be there with you all the time.
Director General NTA Yakubu Ibn Mohammed maintained that NTA would not shirk its statutory mandate towards working for the advancement of Nigeria, which includes education and proper information dissemination for positive projection of the country. In Abuja, Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
In the concluding part of the package, we have stories from beyond our shores and a big spot for sports.
Man blossoms forth like a flower and is cut down. He fleets also as a shadow, but continues not. It is with deepest sorrow and humble acceptance of God's will we announce the passing on to glory of our dearly beloved Sir Lucky Omolua, who died on February 18, 2020, aged 66 years. Funeral programs: Thursday, 5th March 2020, service of songs and night of tribute. Venue: the Holy Trinity Catholic Church, Aguin Ronsiwe, Maitama, Abuja. Time: 5 p.m. Friday, 6th March 2020. Commendation and memorial service. Venue: the proposed Cathedral of the 12 Apostles, Papal's Ground, Kubwa, Abuja. Time: 11 a.m. Reception follows at the International Conference Center, Garki, Abuja. Sir Lucky will be forever remembered for his extremely kind and generous heart. He is survived by his wife, children, and grandchildren. The family. Announcer.
Welcome back to News Extra. The contributions of Nigerians in diaspora, especially women, have again been recognized. This time, it is the bestowment of the highest honor in Burkina Faso, the Order of the Stallion, on the Nigerian ambassador to Burkina Faso, Ramat Dunama Ahmed, whose tenure just ended. The ceremony, which was performed by the Burkina Faso's Foreign Affairs Minister Alpha Bari, was used to appreciate the contributions of Ambassador Ramotu and indeed Nigeria to peace, regional stability and the development of Africa. The President of Burkina Faso especially thanked the outgoing ambassador for the role played in strengthening the relationship between Nigeria and Burkina Faso. Now to sports. Global sports is being adversely affected by the coronavirus outbreak. In this special report, Kene Ima Abuduke takes a look at the effects so far.